Hey, Joel from Artistic Coffee Roasters here, and today we're going to be looking at the all-new AeroPress Go. Welcome back everyone, thanks for joining us. Today we're looking at the AeroPress Go. First things first, let's show you what's in the box. So the cool thing about this product is everything you need to brew a coffee is in this here. You've got a little silicone lid. What comes off with that is this little paper filter holder, so you can fit a few papers in there, keep them nice and safe. Cool little addition. We've got our actual brewer here. Inside the brewer, the little stirrer. It's pretty cool. And also your scoop. This is a cup, or I suppose you could kind of just view it as the canister or the container that you're containing all this in. Now, I've been playing with the AeroPress Go for a few days now. The first thing that I did was I pulled all this stuff out as it is, grabbed my AeroPress, inverted it, rinsed my filter, brewed a coffee in it, straight into the cup, and went for it. I basically used it in the exact same way that I would a traditional AeroPress, using the inverted method, my own brew recipe, kind of just did what I want. I'm here to tell you now that was, in my opinion, a huge mistake. Typical young, confident, maybe overconfident coffee nut that I was, I just pulled it out and started playing. Sometimes that's a really good way to go with a lot of things. You can learn a lot. But in this instance, there was a few other things in the box that I didn't even consider pulling out. One of which was the instructions. I didn't actually read the instructions. Now, if I was doing this review before I read the instructions, I would be telling you now, there is no reason to go and buy the AeroPress Go. If you buy the AeroPress Go, brew inverted and brew 1 cup per brewing method or each time, you're going to find a lot of faults with the AeroPress Go. One of which is it's simply just not big enough. You can't do multiple cups. I was kind of struggling to get 200 ml of water into the brewer using the inverted brewing method, which, to be honest, most people are using. If you have a look at the Barista World Championships, everyone seems to be brewing in a different way. The one thing I didn't consider with that was when the guys redesigning and releasing the AeroPress Go were looking at the design features of it, they were brewing using the instructions or the method that comes with the AeroPress. Now, why this is important is, if you actually read the instructions, number 1 is rinse your filter, put it on top, and brew that way. 1 level scoop per cup of coffee. So you can brew up to 1, 2, 3 cups of coffee. So you're actually putting a fair amount of coffee in there, and then your water or your liquid at 80 degrees Celsius comes up to the 1, 2, or 3 cup line. So you're actually making a concentrate into this cup or this container, and then you would be portioning that into other cups if you're making multiple cups and topping up with hot water. If you're just making a single cup of coffee, you're only filling up to the single cup line there. Then the actual size of the brewer is no longer an issue. You're topping up with hot water and you've got a cup of coffee. I haven't actually ever used an AeroPress in that method. The traditional AeroPress, I have learnt the inverted method and only ever used the inverted method. I was quite pessimistic when I brewed the way the instructions said, because you know, us specialty coffee geeks, we know better than anyone who's written any instructions. But you know what? After I brewed a few ways, made a few fine-tune adjustments, used a slightly, or actually quite a lot finer grind than I would for the inverted method, the coffee was actually really good. So then when I came back to review this product, viewing it as per the instructions, I couldn't fault it. It's a really, really good product. You can make up to 3 cups of coffee out of what is a very, very small package or small footprint. I can see if I was going on a push biking tour, a hiking trip, camping, if I was traveling, all fitting into this small little canister or cup, that's way smaller than what the AeroPress would normally carry. Even the accessories alone, the fact that the stirrer folds up, the scoop isn't super long, there's not a huge big funnel. This is an amazing product if you use it the way that it was intended. So how do the components compare to the original AeroPress? Well, there's a lot of good news here. The plunger, although being a bit taller, uses the same seal as the AeroPress. The actual basket down the bottom, although they are not the same, they are completely cross-compatible. Any attachment that you would normally fit to the AeroPress will still fit to your AeroPress Go. So the AeroPress Go is not something that the company has released with individual size parts or something that isn't compatible to make you try and buy more accessories. If you already have plug-in accessories that attach to your AeroPress, they will work with your AeroPress Go. No problems whatsoever. All the spare parts that you're buying for your AeroPress are compatible with your AeroPress Go as well. So the filters that you use for your AeroPress Go are exactly the same as what's in your original AeroPress. If you're buying aftermarket filters that fit your AeroPress, they will fit your AeroPress Go as well. So good news there as well. So price. It is going to be slightly more expensive than your AeroPress. In Australia, that will be retailing at around $60.50. With all these extra little bits and pieces, or the changes in the extra bits and pieces, I can really see value in the AeroPress Go, having everything that you need bar coffee and water, able to make a coffee straight off the bat, no extra things. So from here, I suppose there's only one thing to do, and that is make a coffee. So that's the AeroPress Go. I think this is a perfect brewer if you're a person that really wants a compact brewer and is using it out and about on the go. If you use your AeroPress at home, if you use the inverted method, if you're doing something funky with your AeroPress, you're going to find a few flaws and issues with this AeroPress Go brewer. Having said that, I think it makes still an exceptional cup of coffee using the instructions out of the box, and you will find no fault with this brewer. Unless that is, you want to brew 4 or more cups at a time. I've really learned a lot through this review and through this journey. I'd really like to know what you think about the AeroPress Go. Do you think it's something that you would use on a day-to-day basis? Do you think the features of this justify a new product? Thanks so much for joining us today. Leave a comment below, like this video, smash the subscribe button, hit the little bell icon so you get updated every time we release a new video, and we'll see you real soon.